Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Player's Take, episode 327. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined as always by my co-host, Montrell Rice. Montrell, how are you doing this week?
I'm all right. I just got a weird cough out of nowhere, so
Under the weather?
yeah.
Yeah. Allergies? Yeah, I don't. It's, the weather's been weird. I feel like this spring into summer. Like, it was colder longer than usual, and then it didn't really get hot until like mid to late May, which is pretty late, I feel like, but I don't know, maybe I'm just misremembering things. But then it got really hot. It's like been really hot for like 3 weeks now. Um and it's also been really humid on top of it. So, I don't know, we're having fun here in Texas. What else is new? We're in the frying
Yeah,
pan.
yeah, exactly. It's
So,
supposed to
all
get
right,
really humid next week. It's supposed to be like super humid next week, so
how is it even possible? It's already humid. It's like
But,
what are we going to Florida type
yeah, that's
weather?
that's what,
You
that's
know?
exactly what they said. They said it's gonna be like Houston type humidity over us and parts of the Midwest.
Dude, that sounds miserable. Like absolute misery. Well, we'll get through it. We always do. It's like this every summer pretty much. To some degree. But all right, Montreal, I think both of us are feeling a little under the weather, so we're gonna try to keep this short this week. So let's not mince any more words. We'll just jump into the rigmarole here. For those of you who haven't listened before, this is our weekly show where we talk about video games, video game news, and other topics pertaining to video games. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter at The Player's Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01 at gmail.com. We will most certainly answer it on the show. All right, Marshall, let's get into what we've been playing. I'll go first. This is going to be kind of short because it sounds like neither of us have really been playing a whole lot. I've been playing Borderlands 2 some more. I actually got like kind of I don't know if I'd say addicted to it, but I was like really into it for like 3 days over the weekend. Because nobody was around to play anything. And I don't, for whatever reason, I didn't want to jump into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So I just kind of like got in, like, I was playing Borderlands 2 when I was out of town. So I kind of just kept playing it. And I'm having a good time with it. I got to level 26 in the, first playthrough or whatever. I will say I did kind of taper off towards the end of Sunday. The game, dude, it's every time I play this game, it's so weird. The game is super fun, and then all of a sudden it becomes really frustratingly hard out of nowhere. Like, I feel like the balance in this game is just so fucking out of whack. Like, it's crazy. And it really depends on the character you're playing and what level they're at. Like, because characters, they almost play like they're league characters in the sense of like they have power spikes, and then they're like really effective for a while, and then that power spike kind of tapers off, and then there's like another power spike, but you have to get there, you know.
Yeah,
And that's kind of where I'm at right now with Krieg. I am like not very strong at this moment. Like, I am having to rely on my guns more than anything else with him. And it's frustrating because that's not really his play style. Like, he's like a melee character. You're really just supposed to be like fucking running from character to character, murdering them in like one hit with melee. With your action skill and stuff. And obviously, your action skill is not always up, so you need to like, use weapons between that. But um it just doesn't feel super strong right now. I probably should respec into something more effective in the first playthrough, which I may do, but I don't know. I'm probably gonna keep playing, but I'm like, this is just, it's always been one of those games where I feel like this game is a lot more fun in co-op than it is solo. I feel like solo play on Borderlands 2 is really a pain if you're not playing certain characters. Um and I don't know, that hasn't really changed necessarily. But you know, I don't think anybody's gonna play with me, so it's, it is what it is. I'm probably just gonna end up dropping this at some point and waiting for Borderlands 4, because everything I'm hearing about Borderlands 4 is really getting me excited again. It really sounds like they kind of went back to basics with this game, and they're really focused on like enhancing the gameplay experience, which is kind of what they needed to do, I think, for the series. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, we played some League on Tuesday, I think, and man, it was miserable.
Yeah, it
It kind of
was.
made me not want to play League for a while, you know. Honestly,
Yeah, I'm the same. I have no desire to pick up that game right now. It's I don't know, man. It's just a weird game to be playing right now. Uh, yeah, this and then I think we lost all our games, or maybe we won one game, but
I think we lost them all. I mean, me and Jet played more than you, so maybe me and
yeah,
him won one. I don't remember exactly, but it just felt like miserable game after miserable game where like our team was like full of bots, you know, like they weren't taking the game seriously and they just like the enemy team was all super well coordinated. It was that kind of thing again, you
yeah.
know. And it didn't feel very fun. Um I was just kind of frustrated the whole night. It was like annoying.
Well, also like I mean, it's norms. I'm getting counterpicked in norms, and I just don't. I think certain champions like Mel, Heimerdinger, Timo, those characters are like not fun to. Garen, those characters are just not fun to play against, and they're super easy to pilot.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I have a major issue with like game design like that. I just I don't know. Every time I go against Mel, I feel like I have to play around them being stupid, and
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I looked it up.
you need to hope they're dumb. Like,
Yeah,
you know, it's
I
like
looked it up on Reddit, and everybody was like, "Oh, Mel is trash. That's why she's not she's a 45% win rate past Iron or whatever." And I'm like, I guess, man, but I just felt the character is so strong in 1v1 situations.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of one of those characters you just have to like. I guess I gotta wait till the landing phase for the game to end, or for I can become powerful. And I just don't. I don't know. I have a fundamental issue with characters like that, or I have a fundamental issue with like you design a character around wait for the jungler when your jungler is abhorrently bad. Um,
Yeah.
so I just have issues with that,
Mhm.
and I just don't feel like dealing with it anymore. So I'm not. So that's why I haven't played League in like 2 weeks. We played yesterday or the day before yesterday, I think,
Yeah.
or not the day before yesterday.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
Tuesday.
it was Tuesday. Oh yeah, I played the day
Yeah.
before yesterday, and I haven't touched it since. I literally have not went to my computer and like, oh, I want to play League. Never. I was like, I put in chat Apex, no one responded, so I actually just went to sleep last night, yesterday early.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well, you played Apex on Tuesday as well with Snakes a little bit. So how was that?
We're definitely rusty, but so far it's okay. I mean, it's still sweaty as fuck, but
Mhm.
uh, it was okay. Like I just chopped it up to us being like really rusty at the game. I will say like we didn't jump into ranked. I think ranked is better than norms. Norms still has that issue. Like I got headshot with the fucking charge sentinel for like as soon as I
Mhm.
peeked.
Mhm.
So there's still and he was a masters player. Like he was a masters player. So there's still that issue where like pubs are like it's not balanced around
Yeah.
like whatever, which I kind of expect pubs to be like that. I don't want to go against a master and I'm a iron or a silver player or a bronze player in ranked. So that's why I think ranked is a little bit better, or ranked will be better because they have those tiers. Um, from what I understand, the way it's going on now, since there's so little players right now, once you hit platinum, that's when you start playing against master tier players like platinum and plus,
Yeah.
like diamond and everything like that. Everybody's just like master or predator at that point. Or you play with those diamond tier players as well. That's like past bronze. Or I'm sorry, not past bronze, but past platinum. Like platinum. I don't know if they have tiers in. I don't think they do have tiers in Apex, didn't they?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
gold one.
It's
Yeah,
very
I,
similar to League.
I think it's like I think it's like past platinum one or something like that. That's when you start
Oh,
getting
you
those.
mean the tiers within. Oh yeah, you're
Apex.
right. I
I
think
don't.
it was only 3
It was
though.
only three,
I don't
right?
think it was 4. Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. I honestly it's been
I
so
think it
long,
was
dude.
three. I think it was three.
It's
And
been so long, man.
I know
It's
past
crazy.
platinum one from when I've been reading. That's when you start getting the higher tier players or whatever.
Okay.
Um, So I mean, like I said, I'm down to dive back into it. They only released 2 new characters, so we only have to learn 2 characters on the field. One of them can warp through. They throw like a crack on the wall or a floor, and they can just drop through the floor if they want to, or that
Oh, that's
they can
kind of
run
cool.
through that. Yeah, they can run through that wall if they want to. The other guy, I don't know. He looks kind of like Israel to me, but he is like a bow and arrow type guy. So
Yeah, I might try him out then if I play.
So, but the bow is back on the field. They don't have bow ammo. I don't know if it uses like sniper ammo or something of that nature, but there wasn't any bow
Oh,
ammo.
the thing we suggested, a
Yeah,
million years
yeah.
ago. Like Jesus Christ, dude, they're so fucking what? Dude, that thing was in purgatory for 3 goddamn years. Like it came out and it had 1 or 2 seasons where it was on the ground, and then they put it in the care package for 3 fucking years. It was so fucking annoying. Like, so I'm glad to hear that is not the case anymore. Because yeah, I love the bow, dude. That was like one of my favorite weapons in the game when they introduced it. I would use that thing all the time.
Yeah, and I think from what I heard, um, people using the Cronus Zen stuff is not working for Apex anymore.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. So
Yes. Definitely. Okay.
it's already been banned on Xbox and PlayStation. Like the hardware won't work on those consoles at all. So
Nice. Okay. Cool. What else you been playing? Anything else?
I did play Bioshock Remastered because I was out of town, so I was playing that. By the way, I would never fly Frontier ever again. Those are the only flights that was the only airline that had direct flights to Detroit
Yeah.
at the time.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I think uh I think Delta did, and it was like $500. Whereas Frontier was
Wow.
$300.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing. I don't understand why Detroit is costing so much to fly to now. It
Yeah.
never used to cost that much. It used to cost like maybe $100, $200 to fly. I used to fly every weekend to Detroit.
Yeah.
When I first moved out here. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I've been playing Bioshock Remastered. Decent game. Nothing too much to say about that. Uh, I haven't really played any other games this week. I've been under the weather, so I just been going to bed a little bit early. So I've
Hmm.
been watching Fearing, and then I've just been going to bed. So, which I highly
Okay.
recommend. That anime is really good, actually. So
Which one?
it's called Fearing,
Okay.
the journey after or something like that. So
Okay. I've been rewatching Mad Men the last couple days. Dude, I honestly,
you want some toxic masculinity in your life?
you're laughing, but dude, I haven't watched it since it aired. And
I haven't
it
watched it at all. Actually, I
it
gotta
finished
watch it.
11 years ago. Dude, I mean, okay, I remember loving the show. I think it's I am I like for me, it's a really great show. Like I like it more than Breaking Bad personally. But yeah, you're joking about toxic masculinity, and bro, oh my god, you're not wrong. I forgot how insane the early season are with the show. It is just constant. Like every male character is just trying to sleep with every female character. It is fucking absolutely insane. Like I forgot how much that was what the show is about early on. Because it becomes much more of like and I mean it is this in the first season as well, but it's much more of like a character drama, where it's not necessarily about what's happening per se as much as about more of the characters and their journey, like individually. Um so that's where the show is interesting. The first season, like, I'm not like, don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. Like it's just like the first few episodes, maybe 2 or 3, are a little rough though for me personally. Like it's just like everybody's trying to sleep with everybody, and it's just like, bro, can we get on to the interesting part of the show? Like I don't know. So yeah, it's been funny. I've been doing like magic stuff. I need to get my magic collection in order and organized and shit. So that's kind of what I've been doing this week. So I haven't really been playing that much either, to be honest with you. But so all right. Well, let's move into news. We don't have a ton of news this week, but we got a few stories to talk about. So, first couple are Xbox related. Xbox this week dropped a quote next gen hardware trailer where it's just a minute 15-second trailer where Sarah Bond just talks about their partnership with AMD that they have signed for several years to make continue making current Xbox hardware and then additional, new hardware like a next generation Xbox. So there's nothing interesting to take out of this trailer other than the fact that this is an announcement that they are doing another console. So that is notable, I do think. Like it's worth talking about. But really only in the sense of that it is going to happen. So um, does this surprise you, Montrell? Because I know we had talked about maybe them getting out of the hardware business, even this generation would be the end. But does this surprise you at all?
Kind of. Yeah, I thought this would be the end of them, but it looks like they're giving it one more go. But they have to go hard with like games out of the box. Uh, I personally think they should tone down Game Pass.
Yeah.
Me personally, but yeah, I mean, turn it into I don't know, maybe a PlayStation Plus type situation where you get all the past games for free or whatever the case may be. I don't know, but they need some kind of incentive for people to not play it on PlayStation anymore.
hmm
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's not a surprise necessarily to me, but this is probably going to be them slow kind of preparing their audience for a world without Xbox primary hardware. I think it's become clear that their strategy now is more about being on a lot of devices, versus having one central console that they bring everybody to,
Hmm.
and operating that way within the market. I think because yeah, with the announcement of the Asus, the Rogue Ally and the Ally X, last couple weeks ago, they're now positioned to be a third party publisher and kind of work with these third party hardware manufacturers to make sure that their shit's optimized for those devices.
Hmm.
And I think that's more what their approach is becoming. Because to go into the next story as well, a little bit. So we reported a few weeks ago, that there was I think it was Tom Henderson, or no, it might have been Jess Corden. Said that the Xbox handheld, the official Xbox handheld, had been put, quote, on hold behind the scenes, and it sounds like we've gotten further reporting this week that it sounds like this thing is basically done. Like it's not going to happen more than likely. And they're going to be focusing more on Windows 11 devices and making sure their games are working well on Windows and Windows devices. So, and there was some talk from Phil Spencer as well. He said that in his 3 decades working at Xbox or at Microsoft, he's never seen the collaboration level that they're currently at, with the Windows team and the
Hmm.
Xbox team. He's never seen that before. So it sounds like they're very committed to this, kind of bringing Xbox into the rest of Microsoft idea and making it more of a kind of a gaming brand versus a platform specifically that they want to sell hardware for. So
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. They dug themselves in such a big hole over 12 years ago now that
Mhm.
unfortunately this is where we're at now. I don't really want them to go that route, not because I just know Sony's gonna go out of control now with this, and we already see it. I mean, Sony hasn't really announced anything groundbreaking in the last 6 months. I mean, they had that showcase last week, but I mean, it was
They're coasting.
mainly yeah, it was mainly like third party. It wasn't really first party stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like, you're right. They're coasting right now. I mean, because everything's coming to their platform, so they don't really need to try hard.
Yeah, they don't have much incentive. I do wonder because I mean, we're still hearing rumors about the Sony handheld for PS6, that's going to be coming, and I do wonder if that is going to be their next frontier where they start really trying to compete with Nintendo, like really hardcore. And if that's the case, then I think that will make things a little bit more interesting. But yeah, if they don't really pursue that path though, and they just kind of accept their place as like the sole hardware manufacturer
Mhm.
for consoles, I mean, I could definitely see the complacency coming in. I mean, we've already seen it, right? It's just like this
Yeah.
whole generation has been really weird. Like we've gotten a lot of first party games that were greenlit at the end of last generation, but ever since those games all came out in like 2021, 2022, we've been kind of in a dead zone for a while with Sony's first party specifically. And I think we're going to get a lot of those games in the next couple years, like 2026, 2027. But um, there's going to be this gap with PS5 with first party stuff for sure. Um, which is okay. I mean, it's not been a huge issue for them, right? It hasn't mattered for their financials. Like they're selling consoles, they're selling games, they're making a shitload of money. They're making more money than they've ever made, actually. So, I mean, to your point, it's going to breed complacency, but for their bottom line, it hasn't really mattered. So,
Yeah. I agree.
all
Uh,
right,
yeah.
yeah, fair enough. All right, let's move on to our next story. Marathon. Bungie made an announcement on their website in a blog post that Marathon is indefinitely delayed from its September 23rd release date. And they're going to be focusing on basically making the game better in the areas that it's trying to operate in now. So these are some of the key points that they mentioned. Upping the survival game, doubling down on the Marathon universe, and adding more social experiences. So within those, there's some more sub bullet points, but those are the main arches that they seem to be operating under. And yeah, so Montreal, does this surprise you? Do you think
Nope.
Marathon's coming out still?
I think it's coming out, but I think they're going to revamp the entire game. In my opinion,
Yeah,
I think it's not going to come out till probably next year, year after next.
yeah,
I think they're gonna. I think they're actually gonna get rid of the extraction mode. I think they're gonna obviously change the uh the what I'm looking for art style, because we found out that that art style that they have was completely plagiarized by someone else.
hmm
Um, and Bungie admitted that. That's just not me being facetious. Like Bungie actually said, like, yeah, we found out that all of our art style was plagiarized by one creator. So,
yeah,
um, yeah, I think everything they said to me is it's bleeding like, hey, if we're gonna revamp the entire game. They already have the core gameplay there, so they have to do is like revamp some stuff now, which might take a year or two.
yeah,
But I think it's doable, in my opinion.
yeah. I'm in a different spot. I don't think they're gonna revamp the whole game. I think the game's gonna come out next year. I think they're gonna do what they can to make it solid within the framework they have. Um, I would be surprised if Sony gave them that much runway at this point. I think it's kind of from Sony's perspective is like we need to fucking get something out. Like we need to start making money off
Yeah,
Bungie. And I
you're
just
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're totally right. I think with their new CEO,
Yeah,
if they still were under Jim Ryan, I would say yes. They would probably have a year and a half, take
yeah,
2 years to revamp it. But this new CEO doesn't seem like he's playing with this shit. So you're right. I mean, they may actually just keep everything on the burner, and fuck a year. I can see 6 months from now.
yeah.
Like I can see that.
Well, and Herman's not really. I don't feel like Herman's really in charge anymore either.
Yeah,
So yeah, I kind of feel like I could see early next year, like maybe like April, some time frame.
yeah,
I mean, they're
definitely.
saying it's an indefinite delay, but that doesn't mean anything per se, right? That like that indefinite could be 3 months. It's like they could decide 3 months is enough. So we'll see. I'm expecting it to be like first half of next year. That's kind of my guess right now. I could be wrong. I mean, because revamping the whole game, dude, like they would legitimately need minimum 2 years, I think, to do that. Like from right now. um, to even remotely come close to pulling that off, because they didn't design the game with like single player in mind. So if they're gonna revamp the game and add some kind of single player component and
I don't think they're
change
gonna do
it,
that. I think they're
you know,
gonna. What's funny is like Marathon, the original Marathon was like
yeah,
a
it's a
Doom or
single
Duke
player game.
Nukem type
Yeah,
clone, or not a clone, but it was that type of game. It was a first person shooter. It was a single player game. So to make the game multiplayer, like you said, I think was a definitely a choice.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
what I think they could have done, they could have treated this like their Halo. They could have treated this like Halo, where it has a strong single player campaign and then a really strong multiplayer.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but they chose
Yeah,
not to do that.
and I think everybody would have been really excited by that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like seriously, man. I really think they would. Like they make a Doom adjacent shooter, that because that, like you said, that is the legacy of Marathon. And then you make like really strong multiplayer modes off of that are monetized in some way. So it is still sort of a live service game, but it has a single player component to it. I think people would have been really into that. I think trying to make this game an extraction shooter is just like, I mean, I don't know. Like, is this as bad as Concord? Not necessarily. It's not going to tank like that per se,
Honestly,
but
I I think it should. Okay, so this is going to sound weird. It
yeah,
should be worse than Concord.
yeah,
Should be. The reason I say it should be because Concord, as ugly as that game was, it did not. It did not um copy or plagiarize its art style. It
yeah,
is what it is with that.
yeah,
This game should be, logically speaking, Justin. This game should be dead in the water. Like this game
yeah.
should be like no one should be wanting to touch this game. You know.
No, I think that's. I don't. I mean, I don't think that's unfair analysis. I think that's largely true. Like, I don't think this game's going to come out and have any kind of huge community anymore. Like, it's that's the problem from Sony's point of view. Is like if you give this game more time, you are really risking, like, you, because I mean there's a burn rate to running the studio, right? So if you don't cancel the project, you're spending, you are investing more money into it for it to still not do well, so it's like, I don't know, from Sony's point of view, it's like, I mean, but what do you do? Like, can you really cancel this game? And like, what's Bungie doing at that point? Like, they don't have another project as far as we know. They're doing some Destiny 2 stuff, but the other project they were working on got moved out of Bungie, the Gummy Bears thing. So, and then they had some sort of fantasy game, I think, that was canceled, like that didn't move forward with production. So they decided to focus on Marathon, and it's like, is this just another Concord bad bet where they picked the wrong game? It's like, because I don't know how interested people really are in this anymore, especially with the scandals. To your point, with the plagiarism stuff, and it's like conceptually, I don't hate the idea of this game, but there's got to be more than just the extraction mode. I think that's the issue I have, is like the extraction mode is not gonna have longevity to me in the space we're in with multiplayer games. I think this extraction thing is a seriously roving fad, much more than BR was. Like BR, I think people would argue was a fad, but it was it lasted. These games just still exist, right? Like Apex still exists, PUBG still exists,
Well,
Fortnite still
those are,
exists. Like,
yeah,
you know,
those are the holy grail of in my opinion, those are the big three, right? I actually think Call of Duty's dead. Like the Warzone stuff, I haven't
yeah,
really heard. I
yeah,
don't really. I see people play it, but I don't see people talk about it enough. But I can even say the holy quad, right? The
yeah,
the quad the quadfecta or
yeah.
whatever. Like Warzone,
Apex,
Fortnite,
PUBG, and
Apex,
Fortnite.
and,
Yeah.
and Fortnite. Yeah, like those four are probably not going to die. I mean, Apex is on his last leg, so I'm,
True.
I'm I'm being honest.
True.
As much as I love
Which
that
EA
game,
keeps saying it's a pillar franchise for them, dude. Like, which is crazy. So are they
well,
working
I
on
mean,
Apex too? Like, they
now
must
you
be.
see now, yeah, okay. So I will say, I mean, I know it's not. We just got done talking about Apex, and we're talking about this, but I have seen them EA like obviously they're making stuff because they're doing security changes. They're getting rid of the Cronus stuff. They did drop the leagues that were in Apex, like the AOG leagues or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
to Fortnite's success, you don't need a competitive side of that, right?
Yeah.
You just, Fortnite. I mean, there is a competitive side of Fortnite, but people don't. You're not going to Fortnite because of like teams. You're going to Fortnite because of what Fortnite offers you as a player.
Well, I think the issue, like Fortnite, and we'll bring this back to Marathon. Trust
Yeah,
me,
yeah,
guys, for a second. Like, come with us. Like Fortnite, I think is kind of in its own space, right? Like Fortnite's continued success is not necessarily because of the BR. I'd say at this point, like I'd say that's safe to say. I think Apex's model needs to follow PUBG actually a little bit more. You know, not necessarily in terms of gameplay, but what they've done with that game in terms of updates. They give the people what they want, bro. Like that, like
yeah.
PUBG. Like
Because
think
we went
about when
back
we
to
quit.
PUBG.
When we quit PUBG, that game was dying. Like
Yeah, that's true.
it was a dead game, bro. Like
And
no
we
one.
came back to it, and we had a lot of fun with that
And it,
game.
dude, it's bigger than ever. Like it's huge, right? It's huge
I
again.
mean,
Like
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't mind playing that like today or tomorrow.
I'll give it a
But
shot. I'll give it a
yeah,
shot again. I didn't uninstall it. I just need a break from it. I can't play it like constantly.
yes,
You know.
yeah, I agree with you. I agree. With you.
But no, dude, like, and I honestly, when we're playing it again, I frankly like PUBG still has some of the same frustrations, but I think it plays better than ever. It feels better than ever. There's more content than there's ever been. The game's probably in the best place it's ever been in its life, right? And can you say the
Yes.
same thing about Apex? Like, that's the
Not,
issue.
yeah,
Like,
not right now. I can't say that. I mean,
yeah,
I've only played an hour of the game, but I mean, they gave us. See, the problem with Apex is like they give stuff and then they just stop. Like,
yeah,
why did you get rid of quads? Everybody wanted quads.
right.
Like, we're done with that. So
Or
I don't know.
solos. Fuck
Or
it,
or,
bro.
or solos,
Why
yeah.
are they so afraid of this idea of this is where game developers with balance like drive me absolutely crazy. Nobody says that solos needs to be balanced. If the players think it's fun and want to play it, let them play it. You don't need a ranked mode. Just let us have the queue. You know, it's like I don't know. Like maybe they're
Yeah.
afraid of player numbers and like they think it'll spread the queues too thin and like the wait times will be too much for trying to find a match. And that's fair if that's what they're thinking, but it's like, dude, if it brings people into the game though, then that's not a problem, right? It's
Yeah.
like, so I
Yeah.
don't know. It's it's frustrating because PUBG they did make some changes, but they never took away any modes, right? You can still play. You can play solos, you can play duos, you can play trios, and you can play fucking quads. You know, the trios, there isn't a dedicated trio queue anymore. That's like the one difference, right? Like you have
Yeah.
to play no fill to do a trio, which is fine though. We've done it and we've won matches that way. Like PUBG's balanced enough where that actually can work, you know? And maybe Apex, that's a problem in Apex. Like it might not work as well.
Yeah, it might not
But
work as well. But I don't know. I feel like these are some of the things that like Marathon has to think about in this day and age. And
yeah,
those three games that we just mentioned are like, as much as we talk shit about Apex, it's still a viable shooter that you have to compete with.
absolutely.
Like, and that's a hard market to break. And I understand, like, well, actually, Montrell, it's a fucking extraction shooter. And it's like, okay, cool. Now you gotta deal with Escape from Tarkov. That is the extraction shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know any other extraction shooter touching that game. I mean,
Yeah.
you can argue Division was like the first extraction shooter type game, but like that was a mode in the game, you know? Like,
yeah, it was an MMO first, like pseudo MMO first. Yeah. And I mean, the reason I brought up the BRs, right, is because it mirrors this fad chasing, right? BR worked though, like as a game concept. There is enough there conceptually for the game to be interesting, and you'd have a gameplay loop that's addicting, you know, to keep bringing people back. The thing I'm questioning is, are extraction shooters in that same echelon? Because I don't think so. I think Tarkov is a unique thing that works in and of itself, but I don't think extraction shooters as a genre really works as a game. Because remember, when this game was announced, remember my big hang up was the progression loop of the game. You are going into these games to get stuff, to extract, to then go into another game with that stuff to then go extract more stuff. Like, it doesn't sound appealing. Like, the gameplay loop doesn't sound fun to me, you know? And I think that's a core issue that extraction shooters have to figure out if they're going to be a viable kind of genre. Like again, Tarkov is its own special thing, in its own special place. I don't really know if Marathon's going to be able to find that same audience, you know. So that's
I agree. I think it needs. I don't know. Like you said, Tarkov is its own thing. Um, I don't like the wipe that it does, but it's like it's its own thing, right? I think if you're gonna come into that space, you need a side hustle to it, and I think making the extraction part a side hustle, like the Division did,
yeah,
how it benefits your main game, that's cool. But
right.
just making the game purely off of extraction shooter, it's kind of dumb to me, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
like, is there like, could they do things like, you know, I know Tarkov has like base building and stuff in the game, but could Marathon? And I don't necessarily think they need base building, but could they have like some kind of hub zone that players can like improve and interact with and change through gameplay through their extractions?
Well,
You know,
that's what a game called Vigor does. It has a hub that you go to, your own personal instance,
yeah,
and you extract stuff, and you can build like more, better water and fuel tanks. It's like a post-apocalyptic world or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Um, but I also haven't played that game in forever, and then you can craft your own guns. You get blueprints, you can craft your own armor, and all this stuff like that. But the loop is the extraction shooting aspect of it.
Well,
You know,
okay. How about this? Think about this. Okay, it's just an idea for the game. Like, so you do the extraction mode. That's the main mode of the game, right? That's your way of playing the game. But there's a progression outside of that where like you have a hub where you have NPCs you interact with, and they give you like, I don't know, quests or whatever that you do in the extraction mode. And as you complete those, you unlock like story missions that are like single player or something like that. And that's like the progression of the game, you know. And I don't know, that like that sounds interesting to me. Now the problem with that is like at the end when you finish the story, what is the point at
yeah.
that point,
What's the
you
point
know?
at that point? Yeah.
But I don't know, that's like, to me that's like a starting point of an idea though, because to me right now I'm questioning what the point of it is, period. Like, you know, so at least there's some point, you know, to play the game in that situation, because I think people are interested in this world. They want to learn more about Marathon, like the actual lore and stuff like that. And there's an interesting concept here, but you got to let people explore that, you know, to me. So
Yeah, I agree. I don't know if they were rebooting the Marathon franchise or if they were continuing the lore that they had established in Marathon. So, I mean, that's another thing too, right? So,
yeah,
I don't know. If you're a fan of the older games, then I'm pretty sure you're like disappointed with what they're showing now because it's like a far cry away from what it used to be.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yep, fair enough. We shall certainly see. I mean, I still think it's debatable. Like there is a real debate to me if this game's even going to see the light of day still. Um I feel it feels unlikely that Sony would cancel it, but I don't know, man. Bungie's in a bad way right now. Like they really are in a bad way. So, um we'll see what happens with it. All right, moving on. This was news actually from Summer Game Fest that we missed last week, which is Yacht Club Games. They have been working on Mina the Hollower for fucking years now. It feels like it's been like 10 years. It hasn't been that long, but it's been at least 5 or 6. And this game has actually finally has a release date, and I think I've been talking about this game coming out for like 2 years now. But it is coming out on October 31st, and it came out. This came with announcement came with a trailer as well, and I don't know, man. Game looks sick. I I mean, I don't know if I'm going to play it right away. At this point, they have kind of burned me on my enthusiasm for the game, but um, I will say though, looking at it, it still looks sick. Like I love the Zelda like um style of it. And those games were awesome. So I think this game could be really fun and really good to play. What about you? You interested?
yeah. So when is the release date? I missed that part. It kind of
October 31st.
of this year. Okay.
Yes, this year.
Yeah. No, the game looks really cool. Actually. I know that it's that old GBA, not GBA. Actually, it's just old Game Boy Color.
Game Boy
Uh,
Color, yeah.
yeah, art style. Um, but yeah, it looks pretty cool. I do like the mechanics of the game, so I'm actually interested in this game. I wouldn't say unfortunately, but fortunately, I am But
Well,
it
there's a
looks like
oh,
it'll
go ahead.
come out on Steam first though, and then other
Yes.
consoles.
And it has a demo on Steam available right now. So, if you want to check it out and see if you're interested, um, you can. So I may do that. I don't know. I'm kind of in a weird space right now because I was playing Borderlands 2 and like I'm like flipping around between games right now, like in my head. I don't really know what I want to play. Like we were talking about playing the EO2. I still want to do that
Mhm.
at some point, um but yeah, no, I don't know. This game looks cool for sure. So October 31st. All right, moving on. This last story is funny. So there was a theft of Switch 2 consoles. And actually the link I put in the document is incorrect, but there was some theft of Switch 2 consoles a few weeks ago, apparently, before launch in Colorado in the US, where it is estimated that 1.4 million in value of consoles was stolen out of this truck. And this truck was apparently actually coming to Texas, Montreal. It was coming to the Grapevine area in Texas, which is very close to me, which is hilarious. And yeah, so this is kind of a joke story. Obviously, it's not cool that the consoles were stolen. But I don't know if you've been following this at all. I feel like people have like turned this into like like there's like weird rumor mongering happening where I feel like people are like making up things about this story because I saw somebody say somewhere, I don't know if it was a news story or it was like, I don't know, like Reddit or something, where somebody was saying that like they like stole from the truck by doing like a Fast and Furious style theft where they like surrounded the truck with like four cars and like somebody was like jumping on the trailer to like open it up and shit. I like, I don't know. This can't be real. Like that this shit is actually happening. I don't know how they stole it, but it just sounds like so far fetched to me that somebody would do that on a highway. Um, I don't know. Did you hear anything like that about this story?
No, I haven't heard anything like that about the story. That's actually pretty funny. I think the story's funny because those thieves are gonna realize that no one's really checking out for a Switch 2 right now. Like it was all for naught, in my
Yeah.
opinion. I
Well,
wouldn't be
another
surprised if we see these on offer up. Like we
yeah.
see Switch 2s on offer up and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, another thing I heard, somebody told me this, was that Nintendo like gave out a statement on this and they said that they can turn the consoles off where like
Yes.
they are able to disable them so they will not function. Like they won't be able to connect to the Nintendo network. So
That is
um
true. There has been
and
a thing going on that people have been using the special cartridge called MIG, I believe,
yeah.
which can copy games. Like you can copy your game or whatever.
Yeah.
People have been saying they've been using it for preservation and everything, like game preservation, which I do think that was the big start of it. But obviously, people are using it for pirating as well.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, if it touched your Nintendo console, your Switch 2 console, people have turned on their Switch 2 and it says literally says Nintendo has like this console is no longer able to be used. Go to this link, and it's like a support link for Nintendo or whatever. So
Well,
yeah,
okay, so does it not even launch then? So I haven't looked too deeply into this.
no,
Like
it launches, and then it goes straight to that screen. You can't do anything anymore.
oh, so you can't even use the OS.
No, you
Dude,
can't use. That's
that's
crazy.
crazy. Oh my god. So they have a back door into everybody's Switch? What the
Yeah,
fuck, man? Nintendo's so fucking crazy, bro. They can't fix Joy-Con drift, but they can basically fucking MDM control every fucking Switch they sell. That's so insane, bro. What do you think they did? Do you think they built like an MDM like in house that because
yeah.
that's how MDMs work, like mobile device management
Yep.
platforms for mobile devices. Is if it's registered to your company and somebody steals it, you can disable it basically through your MDM, and the thing's a brick. Like they literally can't use it.
Yeah, I
They can't.
mean, we have the same MDM function for our thing, so I think they do have I think because a lot of people connect their Switch to the internet for the first time just to get all the patches and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I think once you do that, unless you put your Switch into airplane mode, like yeah, it's gonna be bricked or whatever. So a lot of people are doing is they're downloading digital games off of the Nintendo console, like legally, they're buying the games, and then they're putting it in this cartridge that actually simulates other cartridges, and it copies it onto that cartridge. So like when you put the game in, it's like you have a physical version of your game. And like that's what I said when people are saying like, "Oh, we're trying to do game preservation," which I understand, but also get fucked. Like so I don't.
Yeah, I think that's a convenient excuse to try to pirate.
Yeah,
It's like, are you really preserving? Like, if you're trying to do game preservation, first of all, that's a Herculean task. And second of all, like, I mean, think about all the game, how many games come out, on consoles. Like, dude, you're not realistically gonna do it on your own or even organized with a few people. So I don't know. I think that's just people trying to pretend that they're not pirating when that's what they're doing.
yeah,
But
exactly. And like you said, like all the games are coming out, and even if you do get a copy of it and you give it to someone else, like Nintendo's gonna read that like whatever product key or whatever when you
and
load
they
it up,
know it came from your console.
they know
That's
it came.
fucking
They
nuts,
know it came
bro.
from a console. They know that's an illegal copy, and they're gonna brick the other game, the new person's
Dude,
console.
that's
So it's just,
that's impressive. Like,
yeah,
honestly, the level of logging they would have to have though is actually crazy. Like, to
I honestly believe that was like the reason why the Switch came out so late. They had to get that system right.
yeah, they wanted to figure out piracy.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I
I
mean,
wonder
because
what their
even
policy is though when you call them. Like
they
if it.
probably just say fuck off.
No,
Like, but
I don't think they would.
I do. I think they'll say fuck off, buy another console. Your
I think
console's
it
a brick right
depends on.
now.
I think it depends on what you did. Like, I think if you would just like put the cartridge in, they might be lenient. Because I mean, you are kind of getting rid of a paying customer potentially. As much as they bought your console, you might be losing somebody who was planning to buy shit for years.
Yeah,
Forward. So I don't know how crazy they would be. I think it depends on what you did with the console.
yeah, that's true. I don't know. I just think you gotta be smarter. Like, if you're gonna do stuff like that, then yeah, of course, just put in airplane mode. But then you can't download any games off the market, so just don't download any games off the market. I don't know. That's just me though. Like, I'm not stupid like people are. So common sense is not common, in my
Yeah,
opinion. So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Fair enough. Well, yeah, you said you've been playing on your Switch too, Bioshock.
Yeah.
So how's the console feel at this point to you? Like, does it feel any
Um,
different or?
I like the bigger screen.
Yeah.
The Joy Cons feel a little bit better. Uh, besides that, bro, honestly, bar for bar, I can't tell the difference. Like it,
Oh
I'm not
man.
even, I'm not even joking with you. Like
Yeah.
I can't tell the difference. None of the games. The problem with the Switch and the way the Switch, I'm assuming the way Switch games are made is they're all locked. Everything is locked to a certain frame rate. So even if you have a game that can run it faster, or I'm sorry, even have a console that can run it faster and better, it's not going to do that because it's locked to that frame
It's not
rate.
an unlock frame rate. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the developer would have to go in and patch
exa-
specifically to unlock the
exactly,
frame rate, and
exactly,
that's going to take
and
time for every game to
ex-
do that.
exactly, which is why I'm glad I actually got this console just to get it out the fucking way. To be honest with you, I don't need my Switch One anymore, so I'm probably
Yeah.
just gonna sell it. Um, because every game is compatible on the Switch 2. There's no, I will say that there is literally no reason to keep your Switch 1 anymore, like at all. Once you get a Switch 2, you might as well just throw your Switch 1 away or give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
but
I might just wait for the OLED model to come out.
yeah, I honestly, I would say
Honestly.
that just wait. I would wait until like next year. I think next year or even at the end of the year. End of the year, there's gonna be a ton of games coming out around
Holiday.
from July all the way to the holiday. I would just wait to the end of the year. Holiday, January, around that time.
Mm.
Um, let the Switch 2 get its bearings up. Um, me personally, you already know what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the Xenoblade patches, and I'm going to go through and play all the Xenoblade games again.
That's what I'm waiting for as well. When
Yeah.
I honestly, that is probably the thing that's going to get me to do it. When they've got the enhancement patch for all 4 games,
Yes.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm probably going to go out and buy one at that point.
Yeah.
Because I've been tinkering with the idea of replaying the Xenoblade games, but it's like, dude, if I could do it at 60 frames or something close to 60 frames,
that's what I want. I don't want to play him. I don't want to play him at 30 frames anymore. I want to play him at 60 frames. I am such a fucking fanboy right now. I would pay the $10 for like the definitive $10 edition.
Fuck yeah! Are you kidding me? For each one of them, yeah, absolutely.
And
dude,
they have
100%.
the DLC, and they have a DLC for them because 2 of them I didn't play. The Torna DLC or 3 and 3 has DLC too. Like
I haven't played
DLC.
any of the DLCs, dude. I didn't play one's DLC either.
One's had DLC. I didn't know.
Yeah, the definitive edition. It has like a dude. The problem with the DLC for these games is like they don't know how to make anything small. So like the DLC for Xenoblade 1 is like 10 to 20 hours, I think.
It's literally like Xenoblade. If you're playing on Xenoblade 2 is 2.5. You're literally playing Xenoblade 2.5.
No, Torna is insane, dude. It's like fucking 40 hours or something, I think.
Yeah.
Like that was so big they made it like a standalone game, if you remember. And then I think for 3 it's similarly like 10 to 20 hours or something.
Yeah. And then 3, you remember 3 has downloadable characters.
Yeah.
Like you could just add to your party or whatever.
Yeah.
So and they have time like these trials or these waves that you can go through. Like they have that wave mode or whatever that you can play. So I mean 3 is replayable. Honestly the biggest patch I'm waiting for, I think X would be a lot better. I did play X a little bit and it has stable frames. Like it's stable at 30 frames. It's not like lagging or anything like that. But I really want the game to be at 60 frames per second. And I don't know, it's just the game is playable, but I realized playing it for so long, I'm just like, bro, I need this game to be at like 60 frames, bro. Like the game would be so much smoother if it was like 60 frames. And I know that makes no sense to y'all, but once you play the game, it just feels like it'll run better. Also, I spoiled myself. I played the emulated version, and the emulated version was 60 frames.
I did that too for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
So
great. So I don't know. Also, I want all the Fire Emblem games to be at 60 frames, especially Three Houses. Three Houses has a very bad stuttering issue. I don't know if you remember it, but it was very bad actually.
It does. Yeah.
So I really want to go back and play Three Houses, Heroes, and not Heroes, but what's the other one that just came out? The one that recently
Fire Emblem Engage.
Yeah, and I really like Engage too. But I really want to play those games at 60 frames per second as well. Yeah. I think the one good thing though, I do like the GameCube games. I mean, they only have like 2 so far, which is Soul Calibur, Wind Waker, and actually they got 3. Soul Calibur, Wind Waker, and I forgot the third game.
Star Fox?
But those games.
No.
You said what?
No, not Star Fox.
No, Star Fox 64.
Sunshine? Was it Sunshine? Mario Sunshine?
Sunshine. That's what it was. Yeah, it was Sunshine.
Okay.
They haven't released the other games yet. I check the market every day, Justin. I check my little thing every day to see if Fire Emblem's been released yet, and it hasn't been released.
Oh yet, yeah, Path of Radiance. I mean, they put it in the fucking tease. It was in the trailer, bro. Come on,
it's not released yet, so I'm waiting for it.
Oh, it's so frustrating. No, you know what's even more annoying about it though is that like they're gonna release that, and then when is Radiant Dawn ever gonna come? Because it's a Wii game, technically.
I honestly think somewhere down the line we're gonna get a Wii emulator.
I hope so, because like, dude, if you're gonna play Path of Radiance, you have to play Radiant Dawn as well. Like they're paired together. Like Radiant Dawn's a direct sequel to Path of Radiance. Like, and they're fucking so good. It's such a great 2-game series. So I don't know. It's like you're talking about it, right? This is the funny part about Nintendo. Like you're talking about this thing, and I'm like, when I buy it, I do feel like there could be like a year-long tryst I have with the Switch 2. Where I'm like, I play through all the Xenoblade games, and then I'm like playing like GameCube shit. If they have like fucking custom Robo on there or something, and they got the fucking Zelda games, because I wanted to play through the Zelda games as well. And Mario Sunshine I've never really played. I wouldn't mind fucking giving that a shot.
I would play the All Stars version of that. Remember the 3 games they released? I would play that because they, from what I understand, it's a direct emulation, so you will get all the bugs and all that shit. So
Why the? I don't understand. They put like no effort into this stuff. They're so
bro, they don't
weird,
have
dude.
to. They don't have to. Nintendo fans will eat this shit up.
Yeah.
Like they will, bro. I see people defending why they don't have patches for the game. People just need to be patient. It's like, bro, they've been playing this
How
console
long does
for
it take?
yeah, like they've been playing this console for like 3 years. I'll give
Bro,
them 3 to 4 years.
the
It's
interface
like
is the same. They didn't change the fucking interface at all. Like
exactly.
what did
Why
they,
don't we have
what
day one patches?
compatibility issues are there? Come on. Like the architecture can't be that different. Like
and you're telling me that each studio for your major Nintendo franchises don't have interns they can just like, hey, make these like refresh rates better, make these FPSs better, you know, like just do that, like give
unlock
them to the interns,
frame rate.
Yeah, like
just go into the DLL and unlock the fucking frame rate, bro. Yeah. You know, like
people like I don't know, man. Like, people are just like that meme. Stay away from my $1 billion company. Like people are just like that, man. It's just so crazy to me. Because I also want to go back and play some of the Pokemon games, but I want those to be. I think some of them are 60 frames, but Sword and Shield isn't. I don't think Sword and Shield is.
Oh my god, yeah, you're right.
And I want to play Scarlet and Violet, but obviously I'm not about to play it in the shit state that it's in. So
did they ever fix that game?
I think they did, but
nobody cared.
Nobody cared.
Yeah,
because the memory was leaking, and it was causing the game to
yeah.
So I don't know. It's one of those games. It's one of those consoles where I'm legitimately like, I got it, but like, am I glad I have it right now? No, I don't really need it right now.
Yeah, because I'm afraid I'm gonna get it, and then I'm never gonna play anything, and then the OLED's gonna come out, and I'm gonna want that instead. You know?
Yeah, and I never really cared for like the OLED model, so I just don't. I don't care. So I just want my games to run at 60. That's literally all I want. That's it.
Fair.
But yeah,
keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out. You know, if one of us sees it, we gotta let the other know. You know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I mean, it's been. Shit, has it been 3 years since I played through any of the Xenoblade games? Because when did 3 come out?
3 came out like 3 years
2022?
I think so. It's 2022, 2023.
Damn, are we close to the next Xenoblade game?
No, there's no shot we
are.
Maybe.
There's
no way to make it. There's no way to make a Xenoblade Chronicles 4.
Yeah, they are.
You think so? 2022, by the way. But yeah,
absolutely they are, dude. They ended. The way they ended the game, like 3, it's open ended. There's not a definitive end like to it for sure.
It's gonna be a combined world. It's gonna be Xenoblade Chronicles X2. That's
what I want. Yes, dude. That is what I want. That's what I want.
You know, actually, what I really want. Not gonna lie to you. Just make the next game an MMO. That's what I want.
Or
personally.
I'll take that. But dude, no, X2 would be their Star Ocean, you know, like where you go to different planets and shit, and they like blow Star Ocean out of the water, you know, like it wouldn't even be close, dude. Like Star Ocean, I love Star Ocean, but it's got nothing on Xenoblade, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be the like you have like a ship and a crew, and you're like flying around, and you go to different planets, and it's open world, and you're exploring those places. Like, dude, I don't know, they fucking.
I mean, they can do it. They're Microsoft. They can definitely do it, man.
They can do whatever they want.
They have witchcraft. I think they sacrifice goats or something like that for the games they make, bro. And that's why, because I think it was confirmed that the DK game was co-made.
They worked on it. Yeah,
they worked on it. Yeah. They are literal wizards. They're like devil worshippers.
No, dude, bro. They're the Swiss Army knife of Nintendo's whole fucking catalog, bro. It's crazy. Like the amount of value that Nintendo's gotten out of Monolith Soft is nuts. Like it can't be understated. Like it's up there probably with the Insomniac purchase, like in terms of how much of a steal it was, you know? Cause I mean, they've been invaluable to Nintendo. Like, I don't think Nintendo even cares about the Xenoblade games, like strictly, you know, like they're more valuable as a support studio to them, but they let them make their own games too, you know? It's like, So we get the best of both worlds, I guess.
Yeah.
I just don't know how they do it. Like, how do they work on all this shit with they're like a 200-person studio, I think, or 250. Like, they're working on all this shit. They got to fucking they're remastering fucking X, and then they have another game in the works, and they're helping all these teams with their games. It's like, I don't understand, like, they have the best like engineers and developers, like coders and shit, like on the planet. Like, it's fucking nuts, dude.
Well,
I don't
like
know.
I think they just use really really good low quality, but it's gonna sound weird, low but high quality textures.
Yeah.
And like the put stuff to put their textures on doesn't have that high of a poly count, but you can't tell because of high quality the textures are, and maybe the engine is also doing some kind of lighting trick on it to
Yeah.
like, because if you look at like Xenoblade Chronicles X and like Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and stuff like that, when you close in on this stuff, it looks terrible, right?
Yeah.
But like when you're far away from it, like they put so much stuff on the screen that you actually don't even pay attention to how like
Right, you're not putting a microscope on it because that's not the scale of the game is such that there's no point in putting a microscope on any of it.
exactly. And the art style that they use can kind of hide that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I mean, you can look at DK and like look at that art style and everything like that. Like, it's running at 60 frames and they're doing all this crazy stuff with it. Also, in DK, they have like a pseudo fucking 3D modeling software. You can model like a DK head. Do you see that? Like, it's a rock. It's like you can actually model. You can break the rock into pieces and then like build it up and make like an actual model out of it and everything like that. It's crazy. So Nintendo engineers are like putting like 3D software in their fucking video games, but God forbid I want to unlock my shit at 60
Yeah,
frames.
yeah. Give me 60 frames. Nah, bro, we can't. We can't do it. fucking Nintendo. Oh man. All right. Well, I think that's gonna be it for us today, guys. We'll close it out here. Montrell, is there anything else you want to talk about before we head out?
Nope. It was actually not DK. It was Mario Kart. That's the one they worked on, not DK.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh yeah. The open world. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Do you want to play any Neo 2 this weekend?
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Okay.
I am down for that.
Because I think I'm gonna be pretty free on Saturday. So
yeah, we may go out Saturday, but at night I should be free.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, I'll hit you up. All right. Guys, if you like this episode, please like the show, review the show, subscribe to the show on whatever feed you are listening to it on, and please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you'd like to interact with the show on Twitter, you can do so at The Player's Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com, and we will answer your question on the show or read your comment if it's relevant enough to what we're talking about. All right. Montreal, everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week. Bye.